wake up, new problems with Scarlet and Violet just dropped. But nah, in all seriousness, this is just to talk about the lingering issues and the latest issues of Scarlet and Violet that people don't normally talk about. I haven't really seen anyone speak about these yet, so let's get into it. The dialogue options. Sometimes the game will let you choose between an option as the character, be it so that you actually feel involved in the verbal story, whether it be a yes or no question or it be something that you want to personally say to the person that you're conversing with. But very often, either the two options that you get are pretty much the same thing, just coded differently or worded differently, or literally you could just have a yes or no thing and it literally changes nothing about the story. So like, what's the point of it? Why even put it there if it's not going to do anything? If you're going to actually have like dialogue options to give your character, you need to have different outcomes that actually impact the story to make things actually feel like you're actually a part of the story. They did this in the regular story, they did this in the DLC, and even worse, what's worse than that, they forced you to take Carmen's side, who is creating an abusive relationship between her and her little brother Kieran. And it ends up in Kieran feeling betrayed by you, the character who had no choice but to go with the story's option to keep this secret away from Kieran. I don't know about you, but as a person, I want to represent myself and not have anyone else represent me, especially if the person representing me is not aligned with how I feel. And that's exactly what this game did, basically. To not only have no decisions affected by your choices, but then to be forced to make decisions by the game is crazy. That's the easiest way to make someone uncomfortable playing or rage bait someone playing. And obviously it's just a game, so it's not that serious, but just in the future, like if you're gonna have a system where you get to make choices in the game, don't make the choices for the character, especially if it's something that the character would not want to do, and then have it affect something. Like that's really just crazy, bro. Like imagine someone literally just stepping into one of your relationships personally and making you say or do something that would end up ruining the relationship, something that you would never want to do. It's just crazy. In the future, Pokemon definitely gotta have, if they're gonna make more things like this where there's a immersive story, the quests need to have multiple endings and not several, just multiple. So literally just two is enough. But if you're gonna put thought into having your character make decisions and have different choices, then at least make it worthwhile past like 3 speech bubbles or 3 speech boxes. Have something that they do actually impact the story. Moving on to the next issue, Pokemon. Literally Pokemon, that is the issue. The fact that literally a few minutes into the game you can see Pokemon from another region is kind of crazy to me. Like yeah, obviously just because it's called the Paldea region doesn't mean only Paldea Pokemon will be in it, but I expect the majority of the Pokemon to be Paldean if it's the Paldea region. Like, and I feel like it's not even just a thing where they're trying to be diverse. I feel like it's literally a lazy thing because not only does the decks have multiple copies of other Pokemon from other regions, Paradox, totally cool. But literally most trainers are using majority teams from other regions. Like how does that work? Like you're from the, bro, add more Paldean Pokemon to the decks, bro. And there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with Pokemon from other regions being in the game, but I'd rather have that later into the game or like in the DLC, something like that. And yes, this isn't just a problem in the Paldea region. This has been pretty much lately, Pokemon's been doing this, but in the latest games, which are the Paldea region, Pokemon has done it. But they're easily fixable, so that's what I just wanted to bring attention to. These are things that are in the game that I haven't really seen people talk about that are also issues. And that's aside from the crazy performance inner software that was going on. But like I said, this can easily be fixed. They just gotta lock in, but we'll just have to see.